Having a wonderful day. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. And let me tell you, today is a really interesting day. Today we had some really surprising news. Shannon Sharpe officially has departed from ESPN. According to media reports, Sharpe is on his way out. They're saying that he chose to leave, or I don't know if he left because he wanted to leave, or he left because they told him to leave, or they told him to resign before we make you leave, or he said, I'm going to leave before any of this happens. Either way, ESPN is saying goodbye to Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe is saying goodbye to ESPN. Give me a yes if you heard this, if any of you heard what was going on with this. It's really an interesting situation. So I'm going to pull up a news story on this topic so we can kind of look at this, because believe it or not, there's a lot of, I think you understand this, there's a lot of financial implications of this, right? This is a financially complicated story, and I'm about to break this down for you today. All right, so let me pull up this story on this is on NBC News, and I'll give you the updates and I'll give you the briefing on Shannon leaving ESPN. Either way, again, they're saying goodbye to him. He's saying goodbye to them. This is over. It is over. And it says here, I will be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false allegations set against me, the Hall of Fame football player said. It says here that football great Shannon Sharpe on Thursday said he will step aside temporarily from his duties at ESPN in the wake of a $50 million lawsuit accusing him of rape. Okay, so he's stepping away. Okay, so but it could be, they say temporarily. So temporarily could mean not permanently. Temporarily could mean that he's coming back. I don't know if that means he's coming back. I wonder if that means that there's kind of a wait and see approach. Who knows? Who knows what that means? It says here the 53-year-old Denver Broncos tight end said he needs time away from the studios to fight allegations and that he called false and disruptive. At this juncture, I'm electing to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties. The first NFL exhibition game is set for July 31st, with the regular season likely to kick off September 4th. He hopes to be back behind the mic by then. I will be devoting this time to my family and responding to and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations against me. Okay, so here's one thing that I want to say on this. It seems to me that Shannon, we know he's stepping away, whether it's temporarily or permanent, nobody knows. I can tell you this. I believe that there's a lot happening behind the scenes as it relates to this topic. I believe that there's a lot happening there in terms of other potential allegations that could be coming out. And let me tell you why. Jeff Lightsey Jr., who is one of the best journalists in this country, sent me a report today. And I'm looking this up. Jeff texted this over to me. And now, mind you, this is from Front Office Sports. So this has yet to be confirmed, but this is Front Office Sports. And what they're claiming is that they have an exclusive that Shannon Sharpe was accused of choking a female coworker at Fox in a previously unreported incident. Sharpe's lawyers confirmed to Front Office Sports that an incident happened and say it was resolved by Fox. Sharpe denies that it was choking. Okay, so that's something else that might complicate the situation. At the same time, though, we kind of knew it would come to a head in the sense that I'm gonna tell you the truth. I believe that if he had not chosen to step away for any amount of time, I believe the Disney executives would have asked him to step away. Now, the reason I say the Disney executives is because do you guys know who owns ESPN? Who owns ESPN? I just said it. Put it in the chat. Disney owns ESPN. And what kind of company is Disney? Is Disney a company that hates families, or would they be a company that's considered family friendly? What do y'all think? So I want to ask you all, do you think that a family friendly company or a company that prides itself on providing safe, healthy entertainment for families would want to be associated with any of this nonsense? What do y'all think? Give me a yes or no. You think that that's okay? You think Disney's just chilling, or you think that Disney is a little bit concerned? What do y'all think? All right. So anyway, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. You're watching drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. And by the way, we do stock options. We're going to do stock options on Friday. And we have one program on stock options I think you'll like. It's Dr. Boyce Coin, stands for Certified Options Investing Network. I am a finance professor. And so if you want to learn how to make money with stock options, I can show you how to do it safely and intelligently. Don't do the crazy stuff that people are doing, because they're just basically gambling. So we're talking about Shannon Sharpe and this whole situation with the OnlyFans model. Now, a lot of the obvious has been stated about this, that this was not just surprising that he was linked up with a woman that was so much younger than him. I think he's 55. She's about 21, something like that. Also, it really led a lot of people to question the emotional maturity of a man that's doing things like this, right? You have all this wealth and all this power, and you're in your 50s, and you're putting it all in the hands of a girl who was in high school 2 or 3 years ago. I think that's just, as a black man, I'm going to say that that's a little bit problematic. I don't agree that this is the smartest way to move. And so whether or not he dropped ESPN or ESPN dropped him, nobody really knows for sure. We know that we know that he left the network temporarily, but a lot of times the way these things work is that they'll say, hey, we need you to step aside so we don't have to fire you. All we know also is that he wanted that job. That was the job he chose 2 days ago. 2 days ago, he wanted to come to that job. Now he suddenly doesn't want to come to that job. So what that means is that his situation has changed, because if you wanted the job on Monday, why would you not want the job on Friday? So obviously, whether he chose to leave or was pressured, that's the irrelevant part. It's not about like, well, I left you before you left me, so that means that I quit because I was going to quit anyway. Like, no, that ain't what it's about. Now, let me give you another economic angle on this that I think is really interesting. It's the first thing that I thought about when this occurred was I thought about the fact that a lot of the rules of being black on the job don't apply to Shannon Sharpe as much. And a lot of that is because he follows the Boyce Watkins rules of black male economics. The Boyce Watkins rules of black male economics is something that I've told you a million times. If you have a black son, I've told you, everyone, I've repeatedly said this for about 20 years now, that every black male should have his own business or have the ability to start his own business. Shannon Sharpe has been very smart from what I have gathered. One area where he did not make a mistake, it appears, based on what I know, is he took full ownership of his Club Shay Shay podcast. So he owns things, right? And when you own things, the rules change. When you own things, you can't be fired. When you own things, you can't be laid off. When you own things, they can't remove you from all of your sources of economics. They cannot put an embargo on you. They cannot put tariffs and sanctions on you. And this is one of the things that I've explained to you all before. This is one of the reasons why I think all the little black boys who are learning how to play football, learn how to play basketball, should spend twice as much time learning how to manage their economics and how to own things. Because if you own a business, they can't fire you. If you own stocks, they can't fire you. If you own real estate, they can't fire you. They can cut you off if they want to, cut you off from that stream of income. But if you got 6 streams of income, you can survive if one of them goes out, right? So ultimately, you know, I think Shannon was wise for that. I know a lot of people who get fired and they lose everything. So I applaud him at the very least for being smart enough to have done the things that we talk about every day. We talk about this in class. I don't know why people send their sons out into the economy where you got to depend on the goodwill of white folks for you to continue to eat. The same people that have the ability to feed you are the same ones who have the ability to starve you. Give me a yes if you understand. Let me know if you get what I'm saying. All right. So Fun Time says Shannon will be 57 on June 28th. I thought he was 55. Maybe he's 56. Let me see. How old is Shannon? I'll know the exact answer in a second. I thought he was 55. I heard him say double nickel one time. He was on the show talking about his birthday. He said double nickel. So I don't know if maybe he's double nickel. Maybe he's a nickel, 2 nickels and a penny. Maybe he's 2 nickels and 2 pennies. I don't know. It don't matter. All I know is when you over the age of 40 really over the age of 40, 21 is that's you're bordering on on something illegal damn near. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he is 56. My apologies. Actually, no, let me see here. Yeah, he's 56 years old. He's born June 26, 1968. Actually, his birthday's 6 days after mine. So he's 3 years older than me. I'll be 54 coming up, so he'll be 57. So there we go. But either way, though, I think that this is another interesting dynamic about this. I talked about this morning in class. I was explaining to you all that actually there's a lot of biology behind men's attraction to younger women. I'm not saying I would date a 21-year-old. I don't know if that makes sense. It's not practical in this society because of things like this. But at the same time, though, one of the things that the biologists have said, and this has been proven in numerous studies, that a big part of the reason that older men like younger women is because they have the fertility. It's the fertility in the youth. Men are attracted to fertility in youth. No amount of social engineering is going to change that. No amount of shaming is going to change that. Tracy Ellis Ross was talking about how she likes the younger men, which now that's a little bit rare. They said that as women get older, they tend to want men that are their same age. Now, when they're younger, they want older men. Why do younger women like the older men? They like the older men because the older men provide them with stability. The older men provide them with security, physical security. Shannon Sharpe is built like the Incredible Hulk. They provide financial security. His finances are built just like his body. He's a financial Incredible Hulk, and they also like things that they consider to be emotional maturity. That part, I don't know. I don't know if Shannon has emotional maturity or not, but he probably has more than what he had when he was 21 years old. So I'm not saying that this is a relationship that was sound or intelligent. I don't agree with that. I kind of think that that's kind of you putting yourself out there. You're really taking a chance. I personally don't think that was wise. However, I think to act like you just don't understand how this could ever happen in a million years, I think you'd be wrong about that, because there's plenty of biology that would contradict what you're saying. Now, one thing that they also said in the studies is that these relationships with these big disparities in age, they don't last very long. Why? Well, because you're 21 dating a 55-year-old. Well, in 20 years, you'd be 41 dating a 75-year-old. A lot of women wouldn't want to do that, right? So basically, they say these relationships don't last that long. The rate of divorce is extremely high. But I doubt Shannon Sharpe was in his mind thinking, I can't wait to marry. Oh, I really want to marry this woman. I want to marry this woman. I don't think he was thinking that. I think that he was thinking what a lot of guys, I guess, will be thinking if you're dating somebody who, is she sells her body for money, just not her body. She sells the ability to view her body for money, which you can think about that what you want. All right. So anyway, one thing I would say on this, though, is I think Shannon has an uphill battle in front of him. Jeff Lightsey Jr. brought this point up, which I agree with 100%. He said that that there's a good chance that a lot of times when you get accused of things like this, there's a good probability that somebody else is going to come out of the woodwork and accuse you of something else. And I'm hoping Shannon has kept his nose relatively clean, because if there's more than one accuser, then that's going to make him look very bad. And what's a problem really, and this is why I always warn mothers or tell mothers to warn their sons, fathers to warn your sons, is because it's very easy to accuse a black man of things he did not do. Now, I'm not saying Shannon didn't do this. I'm not saying that at all. But it's very easy to accuse a black man. So what does that mean? Well, here's the other thing, too. I'm going to add on to that. Once you've been accused of one thing, then it's easy for someone to accuse you of something else. They say, oh, well, the evidence that he did this to me is that he was already accused by somebody else. That's what they do. They try to form this trail of allegations. And if they can get 3 people to all agree, like, hey, I'll accuse him of something. Shoot, if you want, I'll accuse him too. Then you create a type of a type of social proof. And the social proof is, well, if all these accusers, if 3 people have accused him, then he must be guilty. And next thing you know, this man's writing big checks for millions of dollars, giving away all of his black generational wealth. He's giving that away to deal with these allegations that may or may not be true. I mean, let's not act like he's the first black man to be accused of something. And I'm going to tell you the truth. It's really hard to know the difference between fantasy and reality in this relationship, because they like to play those little reindeer games when it came to their sex life. They like to role play. They like to get into the whole, like, hey, I'm going to choke you, spank you, whatever crazy stuff they were doing. And so to this point, I still haven't really seen a lot of evidence that Shannon really did anything that would warrant a $50 million lawsuit. One of the biggest things that I think does work against him, for various reasons, you can agree or not, is that he offered to pay her $10 million. I think that offering her the $10 million doesn't look good. It could just be that he's extraordinarily generous and was extraordinarily eager to make it all go away because he was about to sign this $100 million podcast deal, which, by the way, I think he can still get this deal. Let me talk about that for a minute instead of talking about just the lawsuit stuff. I believe Shannon Sharpe could still get this deal. I don't know if he could keep that job at ESPN. I actually feel like he's not going to come back to ESPN, which is a little bit of a double standard. And let me tell you why. Did anybody see what happened on the other Fox Sports Network where you had that lady? What was her name? Oh, my gosh. See, somebody put her name in the chat. There was any sports fans in here? There was a lady at the Fox Sports Network who was who was accused of doing all kinds of shenanigans. She was Taylor. Her last name was Taylor. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up now. And she was accused at Fox of some pretty horrible stuff. I believe it was Fox Sports. Let me see here. No, it wasn't. It was no. It was. Was it Joy Taylor? Is that her name? Yeah, yeah. I'm looking it up right now so I can give you the facts on it. And let me tell you why that does concern me a little bit. It does represent a double standard. So Joy Taylor, she's a prominent host at Fox Sports. She's been named in a workplace misconduct lawsuit filed by former Fox Sports hairstylist Nushin Faraji. The lawsuit alleges that Taylor dismissed Faraji's complaints about inappropriate behavior by Fox Sports executive Charlie Dixon, reportedly telling her to get over it. Okay, so that's part of it, but here's the interesting part. Additionally, Faraji claims that Taylor mocked her accent and made racially insensitive comments, and I'm throwing that out too. I'm forget this not. I'm not talking about that part. The lawsuit also includes allegations against other Fox Sports personalities, including Skip Bayless, who was accused of making unwanted sexual advances. No. Joy Taylor, let me tell you, here's the part about Joy Taylor, was she was sleeping with her coworkers. That's the part that was interesting to me, at least according to the lawsuit, that she was sleeping with her coworkers, two of her like the guy she was allegedly, according to the lawsuit, sleeping with her boss, and also, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, allegedly sleeping with her co-host. And then when the girl approached her and said, well, this is not cool. Like, what are you going to do about that? She claims that Joy told her, that's okay. I got him on a leash pretty much because I can just accuse him. I can just accuse him of harassment. So she was literally, as part of her business plan, allegedly, this is according to the lawsuit, planning to falsely accuse a man of something that he did not do, which to me, that you almost bordering on something that would warrant jail time. You know, that to me is a problem, because you're talking about ruining somebody's life. And in the worst case scenario, getting somebody locked up because you're trying to go get a job, and nobody's checked her on that. Nobody checked her on that. Right. And so this right there, that to me is an issue. It's very interesting, right? Because I guarantee you that if Shannon Sharpe was doing the same thing on his job, he wouldn't have an option to leave. He'd be out of there. I don't know a single man who could get away with that. And for whatever reason, they kept her on the air. And they keep going as if it never happened, which is really the weirdest thing in the world to me. I think that she should be penalized for that. I think that somebody should check her on that. And let me see here. I found some more information. Let's see here. No. There was she was accused of sleeping with coworkers. I remember that. I'm looking this up right now. Hit the thumbs up button if you can while I do this, because I really want to look this up. It was really interesting. So in the lawsuit, she was accused of having sexual relationships with Fox Sports executive Charlie Dixon and co-host Emmanuel Acho. And the thing is, and now she's denied the allegations and all that stuff, and I get that, but Shannon Sharpe is denying his allegations too. So if you're looking for the disparity in terms of the way Black men are treated and dealt with in the workplace, it's all over the place. There's no that's an easy one, right? That's an easy one, right? Most of us would agree. How many of you would agree that there are double standards when it comes to Black men versus everybody else? Would you agree with that? Okay, so that part is easy. That part is that's not even a conversation starter. I think that the part of the conversation that we don't finish is we don't accept and acknowledge the disparity and make a plan to deal with the disparity. Because a lot of you have sons that are really talented. Your sons are going to work hard like everybody else. They're going to be very successful at what they do. And then somebody's going to come along and say, wow, you're a handsome, successful, wealthy man. Let me see what that thing do in the bedroom. Let's get together and let's, act like we're making a baby. And it'll be consensual. So he'll feel safe. The world lulls Black men to sleep. They lull these young Black men to sleep, and even older Black men, because Shannon Sharpe ain't no young Black man no more. He's 57 years old, no matter what he looks like, and or almost 57. And so then what happens in so many cases is sometimes things go wrong. Like sometimes you get to a situation where, there's a disagreement. Maybe somebody doesn't get what they want or whatever. And as Cat Williams told Shannon Sharpe, y'all remember that episode? Cat Williams told Shannon Sharpe, he said something like a white woman will ruin your life in 2 weekends, or something like that. And he's right. There's a power, there's a privilege that the white female gets that Black men don't get. Now, Joy Taylor is not a white female. She's a Black female, but she is light skinned and all this other, and a very pretty lady. And so that disparity exists. And I would just tell you that you have to warn your sons, because your sons are going to get caught up. Your son's going to be out here getting involved in situations, especially if he's an athlete or something. And next thing, and he's going to feel completely safe. He's going to say, well, I won't have any problems because I didn't do anything wrong. I'm a good person, and so nobody's going to hurt me, or she loves me. She would never falsely accuse me of anything. And what you haven't seen is somebody that is really economically desperate, or somebody who is embarrassed, or somebody who's hurt, somebody who's emotionally hurt to the point where they're not obligated to care about how you feel. Nobody cares about how that black man feels when he's worked 20 years for his career and lost everything. Nobody cares how that man feels when he's being dragged out of his job in handcuffs. Nobody cares about this man who's worked his whole life to build something, and then suddenly you just decide you want to make a false accusation and destroy everything he's ever worked for, everything he's ever had. Nobody cares about the fact that black marriage rates are incredibly low. I believe I saw a statistic on Fly Nubian Money. The ladies on Fly Nubian Money were talking about Constance Carter, where she said something like only 26% of black women are married. Well, a lot of the reason that a lot of black women aren't married isn't just because there are some men out there that don't want to get married to anyone. It's also due to economics. A man's willingness and ability to get married is connected to his economic situation. So when your sons are thrown out there into the workforce, and first thing you do is you teach your son, go find a very polite white man and hope that he gives you a job. Then what happens is that he's, by being in economic jeopardy the way that he is, and the risk that he takes in the fact that somebody could just accuse him of something and cause him to lose his job, lose his wealth, and lose his sanity, lose his mental health in the process. What kind of husband can he be for anybody at that point? Right now, speaking on that topic, though, and there's something else I want to bring up on this. But before I do that, do me a favor. Please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. You're watching drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent black people. And I do have a book. It's called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. It's right over my shoulder. It's an Amazon bestseller. So if you guys would like to go take a look at the book, you can actually I'll sign it and send it to you. We're doing a discount for those that want to share it with the community. If you want to buy a bunch and give them away, or even resell them, I'll sign it for you. And you can go to 10commandments.boycewatkins.com. So here's the book, and it's basically simple rules of wealth that any family in our community can apply that will build generational wealth for a long time. You can go to Amazon. There's a lot of reviews up there now. I think it's about 4.8 out of 5 stars. So I know you're going to like it. Lots of people like it. And if you haven't read it, shout it out in the chat. Let everybody know that this is not a hoax. This is real. All right. So we were talking about Shannon Sharpe and his decision recently to depart from ESPN and what that means. So basically ESPN saying goodbye to him for now. He's saying goodbye to them as well. And he's not going to be a part of the network, which is what's really interesting too, because I wondered what got them to this point. Like, I wonder how they feel about it. Like, I wonder if it was a matter of him saying, I'm going to go ahead and control the narrative. Because if you remember in the very beginning, when all this happened, he and his attorney, Lanny Davis, their number one goal was to control the narrative. Like, they came out and they played offense and they went really hard. They went very direct at Tony Busby, the attorney, and the woman that was accusing him, this OnlyFans model, Gabriella something. And I saw that strategy happen, and I wondered about it just because then they started firing back, and they fired out some pretty damning text messages. And I think the most damning message that I saw was one where she texted him and said, I told you to put on a condom, but you put it in my butt anyway, or something. No means no, Shannon. Right. And that was a text. I don't know if anybody saw that text, but it was literally something about no means no. I told you to put on the condom and you didn't, which right there, that's sexual misconduct, right? That would qualify. And here's what's interesting, right? So in his response, I didn't see him say, what are you talking about? Or I never did such a thing, or how dare you accuse me of something I would not do. He just says, I'm going to call you, or can I call you? And that part made me think, this is kind of strange. Like, you just want to call, like, I don't know, what would y'all do? Like, if somebody reaches out, I don't know, let's see here, DDS or Kick Rocks. If somebody sent you a message and said, you stole my $20 in my chitlins. I had a bowl of chitlins on the sink or on the table, and you took it and $20 next to it. You stole my chitlins and my money. Give me my money back and my chitlins back. What would you text back? What would you say? Would you say, I'm going to call you? Or would you say, I don't know what you're talking about? What would you say, right? So that if you're talking about this case, I think stuff like that harms him. And I think he realizes that if not, he wouldn't have offered $10 million. I mean, $10 million is a lot of money to offer just, to make something go away. I know that they talk about percentages, right? Like I heard an attorney make an interesting point where he said that if you believe that she has a 20% chance of winning, then you would send 10 million of a $50 million lawsuit because, 0.2 times 50, according to probability theory, creates an expected value of 10 million. That means that 10 million is the number you pay, so you don't have to go to court, don't have to pay lawyers and all that stuff. I don't necessarily buy that argument, mainly because that number is completely arbitrary. That $50 million number is arbitrary. What if you're going to get 20% of any number, why not pick $1 billion? Why not sue him for $1 billion? I don't know if y'all know this, but Donald Trump used to do that. Donald Trump used to file lawsuits. If you wrote anything negative about him in the newspaper, he would go and sue you for like $250 million, right? Just like some outrageously large amount of money, where even if there's a 1% chance that you're going to lose, you would go ahead and settle because you didn't want to have to pay $250 million. So ultimately, I don't know that $10 million seemed like a large number. It seemed like a suspicious number. It was a very problematic number. And I'm gonna tell you what makes me mad about it. What makes me mad about it is that this is Black generational wealth, brother. I mean, come on, man. This is Black generational wealth. And now we got hardworking, good quality Black women out here that could love you through anything, that would have your back through anything, that will get as freaky as you want to get in the bedroom. That would have at least took that 10 million and did something good with it for the Black community. How in the hell? I personally find that just sad. It's very sad to me that there's some 21-year-old OnlyFans model who's got the 10 million or more, whatever she gets from the lawsuit, right? 10 million is the minimum. 10 million is the basic. Think about it. You got Black men in the NFL getting brain damage for a fraction of that amount of money. So you got people work their whole life, ain't never gonna see $10 million. People that are intelligent, educated, that ain't never gonna see even a third of that money. So this little girl, that's what she is. This little girl, she got booty cheeks and all that, but that stuff don't. When you're a grown man, that stuff I done seen all that. So you really, you could talk about her body and all that stuff. Man, get out of here. First of all, Black women look better than other women anyway. But second of all, even if you were to find her attractive, that little booty, really, that's a $10 million booty. That community vagina that you that makes you look like a sucker because this is money that really could have done some amazing things for the Black community. There are HBCUs. I mean, Shannon, shout out to Shannon. He sent his children to HBCUs, so I got to give him credit for that. But do you know how many HBCUs would be able to educate 50,000 Black youth over the next 20, 30 years with that $10 million? But yet you paying it off to this OnlyFans child, basically. Come on, man. She's a kid. You giving her all this damn money, and your community has wealth that is going down. Black wealth is declining. The Black community's wealth is dropping, and you out here tricking off $10 million or more. It might be 20 or 30 by the time the lawsuit's done, to women because you can't control your sexual addictions. Now, I need y'all to consider this. Think about this for a moment. I need y'all to consider what I'm talking about when I say that if you don't manage your mental health or gain some sexual discipline, not only will you lose your wealth, but you will also lose your purpose. Shannon Sharpe he was a great man. He was a great athlete. He had one of the strongest media platforms in the entire Black community. This man, I think, had a purpose bigger than whatever purpose he was fulfilling by hanging out with people that basically are kind of like digital porn stars. That's kind of what they are. I'm not making fun of OnlyFans models, but it doesn't take a lot of skill to go get naked on camera and do freaky, weird sexual stuff in front of thousands of people. And I'm gonna tell you, just from a personal standpoint, I was kind of surprised. I wasn't impressed by none of that. And I would just tell you that it makes me very, very sad. And these are the types of things that you see happen. It happens with athletes a lot, where you just say, man, bro, you had $100 million and you blew it all in the strip club. You spent it all at the casino. We done had all these damn rappers, all these Black male athletes, all these black men that have made in ungodly amounts of money, and your community doesn't have doesn't own any black owned banks. We ain't got no black automobile manufacturers. We ain't got no black school systems that are coming out of this. Like, what is your purpose, brother? Like, why do you exist? Why are you here? Like, what's the point of all this? Where's your, like, why did no one ever give you your purpose? And again, if you want to be the big dog, then the big dog does big things. The big dog comes out and elevates the community. The big dog helps the team win. And the team is your community, man. It's not some 21, some lady on OnlyFans who you start dating her. She wasn't even old enough to drink. You've been old enough to drink since probably about 1987 or 88. You've been able to drink since 87, 88. She wasn't born for another, 15, 20 years or something. I mean, this girl was born, 2020? The girl was born in 2004. Man, come on, dude. Like, this is just so no, I mean, here's the deal. I'm gonna give Shannon credit for the fact that he pulled off something that was very hard to do. When I saw, the amazing numbers he did on Club Shay Shay, I was impressed. I said, wow, he's getting it done. I don't know how he got 1 trillion views from the Cat Williams interview, but I was happy for them. But I think the question we have to ask is, what is your purpose, man? Your purpose has to be bigger than liquor, weed, and hoes. Like, seriously, like, is that all? Is that your whole purpose, black man? Is chasing around the same ass that you've had full access to since the 1980s? Like, there's nothing special about any of that. But what is special is being able to say, I helped educate 100,000 black youth. What is special is saying that I pulled together an investment group and we created the first black automobile manufacturer. What is special is to say that, I married a black woman and built an amazing $1 billion empire that's going to feed my people for the next 5 generations. Like that's impressive. So to know that all that was thrown away and that you got some little girl out here running around with more money in her bank account than 99.9% of all black people on the planet is just very disappointing. I think we can do better. I'm a little saddened by that, because I can almost forgive it to some extent if you're talking about a horny little 25-year-old NBA star. Anthony Edwards, same thing. He's going to have a lot of problems because he got about 5,000 babies mamas, but he's a kid. He's 24 years old, 25 years old. That's kind of an age where you're sort of stupid. Your brain is not fully developed yet, and nobody really mentored him properly. I can tell that. You're supposed to be the wise old man. You're supposed to be the wise. They call you Unc. Hey, Unc. Okay, I get called Unc too. I guess that's what the name for like old people. I don't mind being called Unc, but where I come from, the uncle is supposed to have some wisdom. The uncle's supposed to stop you from doing dumb shit. He's not supposed to be doing all the dumb stuff. Or if he does get caught doing the dumb stuff, he apologizes and says, this is beneath me. I am fully ashamed for what I did. I take full responsibility. I'm going to grow as a result of this experience. He doesn't run around telling young boys that this is the way to trick off your millions of dollars, man. Do you understand that there are African villages where they won't even listen to a man talk if he does not take responsibility for some group of people? If he does not have a wife and children, they'll be like, shut up. You can't even talk. You're not even a man. You're a little boy. Did you know that? How many of y'all knew that? That there are some villages in Africa where they're like, how can you call yourself a man? Masculinity is when you are taking accountability for something. You're protecting something. You're providing for something. You're building something. You haven't built anything. All you're doing is run around chasing orgasms. That pleasure-seeking behavior, that's the behavior of boys. Consistent pleasure seeking, when your whole life is nothing but liquor, weed, and women. And y'all remember that there was this episode where, and I was kind of disappointed when Shannon went on ESPN. This is the part of the minstrel show that I don't enjoy. Do y'all remember the episode where Sharpe went on to ESPN? I guess because entertaining white people apparently is quite lucrative, and he comes in there with a do-rag on, and he has some Black and Mild. He was smoking Black and Milds and drinking liquor. Let me see if I can show. I got the picture. I want y'all to just see this, because I feel like I kind of am saddened by this idea that we have 50-something-year-old men that haven't grown past this stage in life. So here's the image, right? Y'all remember this? Anybody remember this episode where he came on there and he was on with this white guy named Skip Bayless, and he apparently, I guess, in the Dr. Claude Anderson tradition of black male minstrel shows, comes out and literally says, "I'm going to just fulfill every black male stereotype that you might have of us." So he's got the do-rag on, he's smoking the black and mild, he's pouring his liquor. And all of us have seen this, right? All of us got an uncle, you know, who kind of looks like that, lives like that, right? And I had my uncles who did all that, the liquor, the weed, the do, you know, all that, right? And so I'm not knocking it completely, but what I am saying is that a lot of those same uncles that I had were alcoholics, so they couldn't do shit for me. A lot of those uncles I had were so buried under bills and babies mamas and bad debts and bad decisions that they couldn't mentor me. A lot of those uncles, the black and mild smoking, liquor drinking, and again, I'm not making fun of anybody. If you like your black and milds, keep smoking. If you like your liquor, I'm not judging you, but I'm trying to tell you that my narrative, my experience as a young black male was that I had a real hard time finding grown men to look up to because I saw men 20 years older than me who were behaving like children. And here's the problem. But when you talk about this, you end up fighting with like an army of men who never learn what manhood actually looks like. They like, man, what? You being uppity, you being a snob, you being no, man, well, maybe it sounds uppity to you, but I call this setting a higher standard. You might think I'm being a snob, but I call this preparing yourself to be a productive member of society so that you can win for your family, man. You might think I'm being elitist by talking like this, but no, I want my kids to come home and see a grown-ass man, not a 50-something-year-old who thinks he's 25. I don't want to have to sit down and say, hey, I'd like to guide you, but I can't guide you because I can't guide myself. I don't want to be able to be like, well, I would help you, but I got 8 babies mamas and a prison record and one string of bad decisions and my health is bad because I've been hitting the black and milds and the liquor and the chitlin, so my kidney's broken and da-da-da. I don't want to do it. Why can't we produce men that are strong, capable, honorable men who are in a position to truly lead a community? Why? And I'm going to tell you, this is racism. This is right. Malcolm X talked about this. This is racism. They keep the black man positioned as a little boy. Because ain't no white man. You can't find one white man anywhere on any national television network anywhere who pops on the show smoking black and milds, pouring his liquor, wearing a goddamn do-rag. How come you can't just analyze the sports? How come you can't just get on there and say, I think the Lakers are going to win in 5 because LeBron, da-da-da. No, you got to be a damn minstrel show. That's clown behavior. And the clown behavior is accentuated by the fact that you're about to trick off $20, $30, $40 million to a little girl who's going to have more money in her bank account because she's going to say, I got these Negroes because they're stupid and they don't have any discipline. They don't have any strategy. They don't know how to protect themselves. She was recording you the whole damn time, played you like a sucker. That's what she did. Made you look. Now you got great grandchildren that would be filthy rich if you had simply protected the ball. You understand that, Shannon. You are a football player. You know what it means to protect the damn ball. That's the first rule of playing sports. The first rule is protect the ball and win for your team. When it comes to black wealth, I'm not talking about the game of football. That's a child's game. I'm talking about the real grown man game of black wealth, black economics, black industry, the survival of black people, the survival of the black family, fighting for the black community. You fumbled. You threw the ball into the wrong end zone. You went to the defense and you just flipped it off to them because you're thinking, you let them make you think like a sucker. That's what you did. This is embarrassing. This is crazy. This is ridiculous. It's shameful. You're almost 60. Get you a 40-year-old. The world will forgive you for that. There are 40-year-old black women who are gorgeous. Gorgeous. Don't listen to Kevin Samuels was wrong. He said after 35, don't nobody want you. That's bullshit. Black women are beautiful and at any age, but you can find some 40-year-olds that will put a 25-year-old to shame. But yet somehow you out here digging in the garbage, finding OnlyFans models who will set you up because you don't even know if that girl's a spy. She could have been working for the damn CIA. She was moving like an agent. And if you think I'm exaggerating, think about how many black men, how many powerful black men have been brought down over community pussy. Think about how many black men have been brought down due to an inability to control their sexual urges. Think about this. Think about how many thousands of years prostitutes have always been the perfect agents. The KGB, Vladimir Putin, used to get prostitutes to go and spy on his enemies. Drug dealers that run gangs. There was a drug dealer in Baltimore who had a fine-ass girlfriend, and she would tell him, I want you to go in the barber shop that he goes to, and I want you to seduce him, wear your tight little outfit, and then get him to come back to your apartment. And as soon as he gets naked, my boy's going to run up in there and kill him. So black men have died from a lack of sexual discipline. This is a fact. Did anyone tell you this? Did anyone break this down for you? I'm not judging your desire for sexual experiences. I don't judge that at all. I'd be a hypocrite if I did. I'm judging the fact that this was not necessary. This is not necessary. And so what I really want us to, we have to stop and think about this. And this is really me confronting the black celebrity culture. This is me confronting the black hip hop culture. This is me confronting the black athlete culture and saying, why can't we have a culture built on black intelligence? Why can't we have a culture built on black male discipline? These guys that play football and basketball are among the most disciplined people I've ever seen when it comes to entertaining white people on the basketball court or on the football field. To be built like an Adonis at 57 years old, that means you're disciplined. That means you're more disciplined than me. You probably eating stuff. I ate some ice cream today. I bet Shannon Sharpe don't eat no ice cream. And I was in the gym for about 45 minutes. He's probably in the gym for a couple hours. I love that. But my concern, my question is, how come we have all this discipline when it comes to playing sports, but we ain't got no discipline when it comes to playing the game of life? Your biggest competitions are not on the football field. They're actually out here in these streets where these people are trying to take you out. Did y'all know? How many of y'all know that African-American men, these are statistics, African-American men have an unemployment rate that's nearly double that of white men, which is why black men have to have their own businesses. No black male should go out into this economy without the ability to start his own business or make investments. This is a fundamental fact. Also, the median wealth of African-American households is about 1/10 of white households. African-American men who are incarcerated, which is unfortunately quite a few of us, we are incarcerated at a rate 5 times greater than white men. African-American men earn 72 cents for every dollar earned by white men. And you can keep going down the list. And what you got to understand is that these economic disparities affect our families. Most men don't want to get married and have a family if they can't even pay the bills. So your ability to provide economically is critically connected to this. And so the one good thing I have to give Shannon credit for, because I don't sound like I'm just being hard on him, but I think you should be. I'm sure he had coaches that were hard on him. So maybe you call me Coach Boyce. I have no idea. But the one good thing that he did was he built his own business, and I applaud that. So Shannon ain't going to get canceled. Shannon is going to be fine. Club Shay Shay will be there. He's going to make money from that. The ESPN money is going to go away. I'm sure there's quite a bit there, but outside of that, he ain't starving. The man ain't going to go broke. But I just think that this whole idea of giving away all your generational wealth or a big chunk of it to a 21-year-old OnlyFans model, that's just sad. If you tricking away your money, give it to the black business school. I've educated millions of black people around the world. Give it to us. I mean, really, I don't have a nice ass, unless you like men's asses. But even then, I don't even think I have a nice ass for a man, and you can't have it. That belongs to my wife. But really, I mean, if you're going to go trick away your money, trick it away in donating to black owned businesses that are actually doing good for the world. I'm really, if you just dropping millions out here, go find a black woman that's got some black sons and daughters that she's raising and drop 10, 20 million on her. I mean, really, this idea that you're losing all this over a lack of sexual discipline it's a problem, and it should be called out, because all black people, 99% of all black people never get the opportunities that you get. 99% of all black boys that dream of playing sports never get to the NFL. 99% of all black people that know how to operate a podcast don't get the chance to have a club Shay Shay. 99% of all black people that have the same abilities that you have as a broadcaster never get a chance to set foot on ESPN. So when one of us gets the opportunity to do this, when one of us who came through our community, who was loved by the black community, who was nurtured by the black community, gets a chance to represent on a bigger stage, then you have an obligation, Negro. You might think that it's all about you and your little 21-year-old white girl, but no, you representing all of us to some extent, because all of us, the community, should benefit from the fact that it was the black community that made you into who you are. So any black person in here that feels that they have no obligation to anyone other than themselves, or says that Charles Barkley crap about, well, I'm not a role model, I don't owe nothing to nobody. Anybody who talks like that is a complete fool. Because the community, the black community, is the group of people who took care of you before white folks found out who you were. They're the ones who fed you when didn't nobody want you. The black woman was ready to marry you before you got on TV, but now suddenly you want to go give $20-30 million to OnlyFans models because somehow you think you're different now. I'm not black, I'm OJ. No, you're not OJ, you're black. So this situation to me was wasteful. It was very sad. It didn't have to happen. It was financially irresponsible. And I think Shannon knows this, and I'm hoping that he's going to grow from this experience. I mean, this little girl, I mean, she probably thinks she's the smartest person on the planet. Because think about this. Not only did she get 10-20 million from this sucker where she's recording phone calls and all this other stuff, she also probably got another 20,000 subscribers to her OnlyFans because you done made her the most famous OnlyFans model on the planet. So her generational wealth will be fully intact. All of her, I don't know, what's her last name? The Zuniga or whatever. The Zuniga family is going to have massive amounts of generational wealth because what you engaged in was a wealth transfer. She suckered you out of an insane, ridiculous amount of money. And if she's as smart as she's been so far, she's probably going to own some stock. And by the time she's done, this girl might be worth $500 million because of what you just did, man. You know, I'm sitting there thinking, man, if you're gonna go out here making millionaires, make a black millionaire. Call me up. I can give $10 million to what we trying to do. I don't even want your money. I don't need your money. That's just like I told Kanye West. I said, man, I don't want your damn money. Don't be talking to me. Don't be talking to me like that with that disrespect. I don't want your money. I said, but I want your money for the community. I'll tolerate this conversation with you because I believe that if you invest in the community in the right way, you can do some amazing things. That's the only reason I'll tolerate this, because I'm a boss. I don't have to listen to anyone, including you, but I'm listening to you because I'm willing to beg you to consider the fact that your community needs you. And this is the racism behind the entertainment space. They get these guys, they put them on these big platforms and they forget where they come from. Ain't even got no interest in being black no more. Ain't thinking about nothing but trying to be famous and getting likes and shares on Instagram and getting another $100 million contract. I don't give a damn about your $100 million contract. What are you doing to open doors or create opportunities and possibilities for other people from your community that don't just simply involve saying, I'm going to introduce you to my white boss so you can be an intern at ESPN just like me. Excuse my French. I'm about to cuss. Cover your kids' ears. Fuck you and fuck ESPN. I want to own ESPN. Black people are the ones who should be driving sports anyway. Black people are the ones who got the best athletes. We're the ones who got all the damn talent. A black mother is the only one capable of giving birth to a LeBron James. A black woman is the only one capable of giving birth to a Shaquille O'Neal. Only a black woman can produce a Michael Jordan. You show me one white Michael Jordan. Show me one Chinese Shaquille O'Neal. Show me even a Shannon Sharpe. Only a black woman can give birth to somebody like that. We own the resource. We own the resource. We own the resource, so we should be the ones profiting from this, and not just the Negro on TV, but everybody from the community from which he came. All of the investors in that young black boy should get a return on investment.
But we are trained to believe that once you have used the community to build you up, or use the community as a rapper to get your street cred, or use the community to go to football practices and community events with black people, you're supposed to leave black folks behind so you can go hang out with your attorney named Abraham, right? Abraham Lubnick, and go take care of his people. And that's nonsense. And then when they get done using you up, taking all your wealth because they got you acting like a damn sucker, then they dump you back into the black community and say, here, you can have them now. We've used them up. That's not an economic model, black people. And part of the reason that model works is because you accept it. You allow that to happen. You think that that's okay. You just want to sit back and cheer because he's on TV. No. Fuck you, pay me. No, you owe us. We took care. We made you into who you are. We created the raw materials necessary. I know I cussed a lot. I apologize for that. I'm going to try not to do that again. But we created the raw materials necessary to mass produce every single one of them Negroes on TV, every single one of those rappers, every single one of those NBA stars, damn near every one of them came out of our community. And I want to ask y'all a simple question. Why is it that you're producing the $1 trillion worth of talent, but your wealth is going down? Y'all answer that question for me. Anybody who disagrees with me, explain that. Riddle me this. How in the hell can a community produce $1 trillion worth of a raw resource and have your wealth going down? Do you know why? I know why. Because I have a PhD in finance. Yeah, I know why. Because you lean on bad culture and very bad, fundamentally flawed economic models. That's why. Because if you were playing the game right, the whole black community would be wealthy or having a median wealth that is going up. But instead, when somebody comes along and tells you the truth, because I've been telling y'all the truth for 25 years, I've been doing this since the 90s. When somebody comes and tells you the truth, you get mad. Oh, you just being a hater. Or, oh, you just being uppity. Or, oh, you need to quit all that. No, I'm not going to quit. Because you need to quit being a sucker. That's what you need to. That's what you quit. I'm not quitting. You should know I've done probably 25,000 of these videos. I ain't quitting. You need to quit because you're losing. They're coming in and they're scooping up your most valuable resource because they got you on what I call the Jackie Robinson protocol. The Jackie Robinson protocol is where we own the Negro leagues. We have black-owned hockey leagues, black-owned soccer leagues, black-owned NASCARs. We had all of that. And they come in there and they came in, they took Jackie Robinson, they stole your most valuable resource and you cheered for it. It's like inviting somebody in the house to rob you. Hey, here's the jewelry's in here. And here, I got a couple dollars in my pocket. Here, take that. I'm honored that you're robbing me, sir. That's what we do. We were honored that they were robbing us. Now, years later, we got some of the most famous, most powerful athletes on earth, got 100 million followers on Instagram, and y'all can't even figure out how to sit down with your scholars and your business people and start a black-owned sports league. They got you that intimidated. I don't even understand it. It blows my mind. I could design the blueprint for you in about 20 minutes, but for some reason, you're like, well, we don't know what to do. We can't start a... What are you talking about? You have fueled the growth of a $100 billion NBA, $100 billion NFL. Roger Goodell can't play football. The NBA commissioner might be like 6'1" and skinny. He can't play basketball. So how is it, process this for me, please. How is it that the people that are producing the babies that are 6'8", 240 pounds don't know how to get to the wealth, but the little short guy who went to Harvard Law School is getting all the money? He ain't shooting no jumpers in the gym. He ain't spending no time in the weight room. He didn't get CTE for playing for the Chicago Bears for 5 years. How did he get all the money and you didn't get no money? I'm going to tell you why. Because your business model is flawed. If you spend as much time learning economics as we spend training our children to become entertainment slaves, then we could take this game over. But in order to do that, you're really going to have to confront toxic economic culture. The toxic economic culture is the reason that all that wealth is going out the window. If you don't fix it, it'll never be fixed, because I'm going to tell you what, The white folks they're gonna keep on being white. They're never going to change their protocol. And as long as you allow yourself to be exploited, then the exploitation will continue. It's a two-way street. It's a two-person tango. So before I go, let me mention to help deal with this problem, I have a wealth guide that you can have if you want to pick it up. And we do economic classes every single day in the Black Business School. So if you'd like to join us, we meet every morning at 10 a.m. It's free to the whole community. So feel free to text the word morning to the phone number 87948. You can text morning to 87948. And also, I do stock market training. My my dissertation was written on the stock market. I'd love to support you and love to help you. So after you hit the thumbs up button, feel free to go to drboycestockmarket.com. The stock market is the #1 wealth builder in America. And we talk about this all the time. And in fact, if you want to talk about one little thing that could change that would increase Black wealth dramatically, it would be stock market participation. If we were able to we have 90% of our students in the Black Business School that are invested in the stock market. That's higher than white people and higher than Asian people, higher than Jewish people, higher than everybody. Really, I want to get that number to 100% because I know what that would do for your generational wealth. So again, Shannon Sharpe, if you feel like I was being mean to you, I can say sorry, but not sorry. I admire you, and that's why, and I believe in your potential. That's why I'm even having this hard conversation. I think you're going to be fine financially, but I think that this whole situation should be an embarrassment to you, and it should be something where you shouldn't just apologize to this 21-year-old if something negative happened. You also need to apologize to yourself and apologize to your people, because I think that there's a whole lot more you could do in the world that would probably occur if you weren't distracted by some of these addictions that some of us form over time. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. That's what I believe, and I'm sticking to it. So please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe if you haven't done it yet. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. So feel free to join us tomorrow in class, and just text the word morning to the number 87948 or visit drboyceelevate.com. Love you guys. I'll see you soon. Peace.